I'll just give you this example. We Muslims believe we have a message to share. We don't convert because God says He's the only one that guides somebody to Islam eventually or not, to surrender. But we have an obligation to share, especially when people are seeking. So let's pretend this is our potential audience. Let's pretend this is the United States and Canada, the Canadian and American population. And we're Muslims and we're trying to represent our faith in America. And then we start telling people what the religion demands and doesn't demand. And let's say we say Islam demands that and requires that we believe that there is no God but the one God. Actually, some people are going to have a problem with that. I don't know, monotheistic religions are very chauvinistic, they're violent, etc. We're going to lose some there. We need to be more tolerant. We'll lose some. Are we going to soft pedal that idea? No, because universal agreement among Muslims, we all understand that that's the requirement of the religion. And then we tell people, for example, Islam requires that you, pray 5 times a day. Oh, going to church once a week is already too much. Pay zakat. Oh, I pay taxes. Come on, give me a break. Fast the whole month of Ramadan. Are you kidding? You gotta be joking. Make the pilgrimage to Mecca. Terrorists, no. Even though we're losing part of our potential audience because we represent those things, we feel obliged to because we agree that the religion demands it. And then we tell them, there's no drinking or, alcohol or recreational drug use, so there goes most of it. Sex outside, unlawful marriage, and there goes the rest, right? But we feel that the religion requires it. And we're not going to stop pedal, even if this were to go away entirely. But when we tell people that women can't drive, or that you can't wear a tie, or women must always be strictly secluded from men, all types of music are haram. You can target civilians in jihad. You can just go on and on. You can't have this. This is haram. That's haram. That's haram. Eventually, what happens is you lose them all, including our children. And our conduct becomes too much. They burn out. And the problem is, brothers and sisters, it's my feeling, and you could say I'm wrong, but my feeling is the biggest barrier between Islam and the United States and Canada, the message of Islam in the United States and Canada, especially when it comes to our children converts, but even beyond that, it's not the Jewish lobby. It's not even the media. Sorry to say, it's us. Because when we do those things, we erect barriers between the faith and the seekers. What happens is we become an argument against Islam. We do. From dealing with these young people, dealing with these converts and communicating with them, 95% of the time their problem with Islam is not necessarily with Islam, but with things that are very questionable. And we're losing it. I mean, how often have you heard a Muslim say, I believe it should be this way, but others in the community see it this way, other scholars see it this way, this is my opinion, I think this is the way it should be. No. Every Muslim is an imam. Islam demands this. This is haram in Islam. This is the way Islam is. Regardless of what it is. Unless you've really studied something, done a considerable amount of research, just back off a little and say, I think, or I feel, or this is what I was taught, or this is what I know. Don't shut the door unnecessarily, because you might be shutting the door on a person when you could be wrong, or there could be difference of opinion. totally off base. That's a major problem. There's other things we should do, but I'm running out of time. I'll just list them quickly. Our mosques should be more open to discussion. Many of them should be more democratic. Many of them are run like dictatorships. The mosque should be more tolerant, accommodating, inclusive. It should encourage activism and participation. And we should be practical in our approach to the next generation and the surrounding population. When you become a Muslim in this community, people expect you to fit whatever their particular mental model is of the ideal Muslim right from the start. And our kids are up against it. The converts, they have a lot they're dealing with. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, sent Mu'adh bin Jabal to take over the dual governorship of Yemen, he was sort of a religious advisor there. He said, when you go there, first teach them that there is no God but God, and that Muhammad, peace be upon him, is his prophet. Well, he didn't say peace be upon him, but he said Muhammad is his messenger. He said, when they have really understood that, then teach them that there are 5 prayers daily. And then when they have gotten that down, then teach them, and took them one by one through the 5 pillars of Islam. When somebody comes into the masjid, new, oh, you got to drink, oh, put this. I remember a young lady came to the masjid to learn about Islam in San Francisco. Immediately, a brother got a huge blanket and came over. She's talking to me. We're talking about, the oneness of God, the beauty of self-surrender, and lo and behold, the brother I look at him and go, she turns around, and she sees him go like this. Unreasonable. People don't come in the door, you get an audience to talk to. Don't drive them away. Prioritize things. But we want our kids to walk in as if they've grown up in Cairo. It's not going to happen. You have to be patient. And it happened during the lifetime of the messenger of God, alayhi salam, when, you remember this is one of my favorite hadith. You've got this Bedouin sitting in the mosque one day, and he suddenly realizes he needs to relieve himself. So he stands up, walks a few paces, and urinates in the mosque. The companion's reaction was so quick. The next line says, and then the Prophet said to them, peace be upon him, let go of him. That's how quick they were on top of it. Let go of him. And then he tells one of the companions, get some water. He didn't tell the Bedouin, he tells one of the companions, get some water and pour it over. You were not sent to make things hard on me. You were sent to make things easy, he tells us. Our communities, those kids come into the mosque, the new converts come into the mosque, we expect perfection from day one. So, you add that to the fact that so much is being promoted that's tenuously linked to religion, or where there's alternative, credible points of view out there, that so much is being promoted as essential to religion, we are just hurting people away. In any case, brothers and sisters, I'm writing a 4th book, deals with some of these subjects in more detail, but I don't pretend to be a scholar of fiqh or anything. Just Muslim parent, observing what's happening to our children, trying to share that point of view with you. Thought it would be obvious, but then why aren't we doing it? So I thank you for your time, and may the peace and mercy of Allah be upon you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.